Hello, my name is Commando guy and I'm a Finnish YouTuber. Excuse me for my bad English, I haven't been speaking English in a very long time. But I'm a Finnish YouTuber and I've been doing videos for YouTube for like 6 months maybe now. And I have been getting a lot of attention in YouTube in Finland. I have 20,000 followers in my account, in my Finnish YouTube account. And I used to be an addict, a drug addict and a criminal for like 6 years of my life. I used a lot of drugs and did a lot of crimes. And I started making videos of myself talking about drugs and crimes in Finnish for YouTube. And now I want to try something a little bit different. I want to speak English and I want to make videos in English. Because I haven't been speaking English in a long time. And I think it's important for people to speak about crimes and drugs because they are a big taboo in some countries, especially Finland. And I think in many places in the world drugs are a big taboo and people don't talk enough about them. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous talking in English for the first time on video, but it doesn't matter so much. Let's start by, I can tell you a little bit about my life. I was about 12 or 13 when I started like trying alcohol for the first times in my life. My friend stole a little bit of vodka from his mother, and we drank it in school during a recess in school, and we got a little bit drunk. And those were like my first experiments with alcohol. But when I was 14 or something, I got really wasted, like drinking alcohol for the first time. We drank homemade wine with my friend. And at those times in my life I started getting interested in drugs, different types of drugs. We had like, some people came to school to educate us about drugs, like policemen and ex-addicts or something, and they were talking about heroin and other very hard drugs. And I can remember from those times that I had the thought in my head that I wanted to try heroin, like I wanted to try heroin from such little age, but I couldn't get any drugs at that age from anywhere, and I didn't try drugs at that age. But when I was about 16, I had some friends who had been smoking marijuana, like weed. They had been smoking weed, and I wanted to try weed also. So when I was 16 or something, I tried weed for the first time. It didn't work for me very well. I thought that I would see some hallucinations or something from weed, which isn't true, obviously. I have a hard time spelling some words in English, and I'm so nervous. But I thought that I would see some hallucinations or something, and it didn't like work for me at the first time. Well, then I tried again, and I started to notice the feeling that comes from weed. It's not like hallucinations and something, it's like a buzz, a small buzz. It's hard for me to describe in English, but anyway, that was my first try of weed. Then I was in high school in Finland. Then I went to Brazil for exchange. I was an exchange student in Brazil. And I got to a family, and I soon found out that my host brother smokes weed, and so he asked me, like during the first weeks of my stay in Brazil, he asked me like, "Do you like marijuana, man?" And I was like, I had tried a few times in Finland, so I was like, yes, of course I like marijuana. Then I started smoking weed with him in Brazil. The weed was very cheap and like very bad. It was like compressed, it was like brick weed. it was sold in like bricks, and you had to like saw the weed with a knife or something. You had to saw the weed and then like roll a joint from it. But it was really bad. In Finland the weed was better quality and it was homegrown. In Brazil it was grown in some, I don't know what's the word, but some farms it was grown like huge amounts at one time. So the quality was very poor. Well, so I started to go to parties in Brazil and drink alcohol there, and sometimes I was with my host brother and we got LSD. I didn't know anything about drugs back then, but I just wanted to try every drug, and we bought some LSD, and I took some LSD in a party, and it worked very hard for me. I was like stunned by the feeling. I was like, oh my God, can this be real? It's so amazing, the feeling that came from LSD, and music was so, I loved music when I was high on LSD and everything. So I started taking LSD once in a while in Brazil when I was on the exchange. Sorry for my bad English. But and then I was in one party and my host brother gave me some cocaine. It was a very small line of cocaine. It didn't really work for me. I took it. It didn't really work for me, but then I started trying cocaine more and more, like in parties and everything, and I started liking the feeling that came from cocaine. I was so like, I felt like a king. I felt like nothing could stop me, and I don't know, it just worked very hard for me, and I started getting addicted on cocaine when I was in Brazil. I didn't know anything about drugs. I didn't know if we had cocaine in Finland or no, but it was very cheap there, like $7 per gram, and it was very cheap. And I had lots of money when I was on exchange, because Brazil is a cheap country, and I got $100 allowance from the Rotary, which is the organization that I was on exchange through. So I used the allowances to buy drugs, and of course my parents sent me some money when I was there, and I used my money on drugs there. But the point is, I got very addicted on drugs in Brazil. Then I came back from Brazil in Finland, and I started doing research that what drugs do we have in Finland and everything. And there's not so much cocaine in Finland, and if you can find any cocaine in Finland, it's very expensive, and it's not very pure. So I started experimenting with other kinds of drugs in Finland, like ecstasy, amphetamines, and different types of medications, like benzos, like Xanax and Rivotril, what we have in Finland, and epilepsy drugs, and all kinds of drugs that we have in Finland. And Subutex, which is a substitute for heroin. We use it for heroin addicts. It's like I don't know how to describe it, but it's a drug that they can take and not feel the withdrawals of heroin, and it works as a drug too. But anyway, I started doing a lot of drugs here in Finland, and then I started like shooting drugs in my veins, like intravenous use. I don't know what's the word in English, but anyway, I started doing that, and I got hospitalized many times due to overdoses, and I was in very bad shape for many years in Finland. I was doing drugs every day, and it wasn't fun at all. And I started doing lots of crimes too to finance my drug abuse, and like burglaries and different drug-related crimes and all kinds of crimes, just to get money to buy drugs. And I've been convicted a few times from the crimes I've committed, but here in Finland it's not so easy to. They don't put people in prison for very easily. If I have been living in America, I think I would be like 10 years or something in prison. but it's not the case. Here in Finland we get like sentences, but it's like how do you call it? We don't go to prison. It's like what's the word? I don't know what's the word. But we get like for example, I got half years imprisonment sentence, but I didn't have to go to prison. It was like I don't know what's the word, but in States or something, somewhere if you have been in prison a long time, you can apply for, what's the word? I don't know. Anyway, I have been convicted, but I haven't been to prison in Finland. Only 2 weeks I have been in prison for the time of the investigation for some crimes I've committed. But I stopped using drugs like half years back from now, because I didn't get the feelings from drugs that I got when I started, and it started becoming very dangerous and very stupid, and I was in very bad shape, and I almost died to using drugs many times, and I just wanted to stop. And it took me a long time, many years. I had the will to stop using drugs, but it took me many years to actually get some results, like stop really using drugs. And now I don't use drugs, and I don't encourage anyone to use drugs. It's a very bad road to go on. And that's the reason I'm making these videos also. That I want to like tell people that they shouldn't start using drugs, because it's very stupid and it can lead to death and prison and all kinds of bad things. But I also want to do like different types of videos. I don't want to do like only crime and drug related videos, but I like telling those stories, and I hope that you like watching my stories. Sorry, another time for my bad English. I'm a bit nervous because it's my first time doing videos in English. But anyway, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button so you can get a notification from my videos. Leave a comment down below and like my video if you like this video, so I can make more videos for you. Sorry, I was very nervous making this video, but I think I will add this as it is, like this. I don't like editing my videos too much. I think it's bullshit. I think people are trying to look perfect in YouTube. I think nobody's perfect, and why would I want to hide my imperfections in YouTube or anywhere in life? But thank you. Let's see you in the next video.